Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. Today I want to talk about several things: acquisitions, projects that I have in the works, and finished objects as well. So grab your favorite crochet project and crochet along while I'm chit-chatting to you on this video. I wanted to answer a couple of questions about my previous videos, and I'll just do that right now because I had received some comments about it, and I have some folks that actually email me directly and ask me questions, give me comments, make comments about my videos. So I wanted to answer a couple of those in this video. I'm always worried about how you can see through certain stitch patterns for sweaters, and because I mainly make things to wear, which is what my channel is all about, Wearable Crochet Style, I do worry about how you can see through certain fabrics. I don't want to put a pattern out there that you would have to wear something under unless I disclose that. So the other day I talked about doing a 1/3 double crochet, which is an extended half double crochet, as some of you have pointed out. The double crochet or extended half double crochet is a stitch in which you put your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then you yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. That's what I call a 1/3 double crochet. That is hopefully to fill in spaces between double crochets. And I understand that you have to do that sometimes on a sweater because otherwise the holes between the double crochets are just too much and you have to wear something underneath. So I use that particular stitch in order to fill up the holes just a little bit. And someone suggested I would use a linked double crochet, and I do know what that is, but that's where you attach the double crochet to the one that you just stitched. And to me that is just too much work. I don't like those. They're okay. They do fill up your fabric. You can go right out on Google and there'll be a YouTube that comes up, shows you how to do a linked double crochet. If you're interested in making a very solid fabric, you can use those for dishcloths, you can use them for towels, you can use them for summer sweaters that you want to be dense, that you don't have to wear anything under, or winter sweater, the same reason. But I don't use those because they take so long to crochet. But if that's what you want to do, I think that's a great idea. It does fill up the fabric and it doesn't have a lot of holes in it, so it does make it a lot easier to wear if you're looking for a dense fabric. So that is a suggestion by one of our viewers, and I appreciate that. That's good. Also, in the last video I called my Silver Mist sweater a winter mist sweater, and I didn't mean to do that. It's the Silver Mist sweater, and that's the one that's made from the Lion Brand Velux yarn, which is the real smooth velvety yarn that I used for that particular sweater and cowl. Today I'm wearing the curly cowl, which is made from the Karen Latte Cake out of Winter Pepper Ash is the color name. And I really like it. It goes with so many things. It's very, very neutral. You can wear it with off-white. You can wear it with white. You can wear it with gray. I wore it the other day with like a beige shirt, and it looked really nice too. I wear this quite often because it's very, very soft. It reminds me of the velvet yarn that I just made the sweater and cowl out of. It's very, very soft. And I thought this really, because it's 20 degrees outside today, this really needs a hat. So I made a hat out of it, and I'll show it to you. This is the curly hat, I'm calling it, because along the edge I've got the same edge as I made along this. And I'm going to try it on, and this is my first pass. This is the first pass that I've made on this particular hat. I put a large fur ball on it, which is removable, of course. They have a little piece of elastic on them, and if you sew a button on the inside, which I've just got a stitch marker on here right now to hold it on, but if you sew a button on the inside, then you can feed the elastic through that top hole and hook it onto the button, and then you can remove it when you wash the hat, which is a wonderful idea. Instead of sewing it on, you want to make it removable. Now, this hat is too big, and I made it. I'm going to try it on for you. It fell off. It's a little bit too long. Whoop. It's a little bit too long. It is a slouchy hat, and if you can see the fur ball up there, but it's too long from here to the fur ball. I made it too long. See what I mean right there? I made it too long. I like it long. I like it like this. It's kind of fluffy looking, and I do like that. Yeah, I'll turn to the side so you can see it. It's got this fur ball weighs a lot, and so it pulls it down and makes it slouchy. I tried it on without the fur ball, and I like it without the fur ball as well, but it's still too long on my head. My head isn't all that big, and so when I made the hat and I measured from my crown to where I want the hat to appear, and then I added a couple of inches. The fabric stretches because I used a very large hook. I think I used an NP hook, and it was too big. So what happened was the hat was too long this way, and I'm showing you all this because this is what happens when you design hats and sweaters and things. You have to frog out or do things twice, and I probably won't do this again because I don't think I have enough yarn, and I don't want to buy any more yarn. And this hat is very easily, probably easily frogged out. I'll find out once I start doing that. I haven't frogged it out yet, but it is too long, and it's a very simple hat. You just measure from the crown of your head to where you want the hat to begin, and then you chain up that many chains, and then you stitch around, and you stitch around the width of the hat, which would be the measurement from the center of your head here around the back of your head back to the center of your head, and that would be the measurement around. That's how long you would make the piece of fabric. And what I'm going to do is I will write this pattern up. It's not hard at all to make, but I did put the curly edge on it, and I do like that as far as adding it to the hat and making it match the curly cowl. But it is fun to match a hat with a cowl. It's just that this is too long. It's too long a hat, and I might frog it out, I might not, but that was the main problem. It was too big all over for me. It probably fit my husband, but I don't think he'll be wearing a curly hat. Anyway, I'm going to write that pattern up, and I will probably give it away to my On the Hook community. I'll figure out a way to do that. I think I can link the pattern to an email, and I'll be doing that in the next few days. So be looking for that. My curly hat to match the curly cowl out of the latte cakes. So that's enough about that. But I did enjoy making the hat. I don't make a lot of hats. I don't wear a lot of hats, but because the weather was so cold, I thought, that'd be a great idea to just make a set. And you can make one for somebody for Christmas. I think that'd be a really nice thing, and it would be the cost of one latte cake, because I have this much left over even after making the hat and the long cowl out of it. You have plenty of yarn, so one cake will do it. Very nice Christmas present for somebody, and that is not what I'm making for Christmas. I have one friend that watches my channel. Nobody else watches it that I know of, maybe one or two people that I know, but generally people don't watch my videos, so I can show the Christmas presents I'm going to make, and nobody will know what they are because nobody watches because they don't crochet, and I understand that. But what I wanted to talk about next was Christmas gifts, because I am making my Christmas gifts now so that I can get them out of the way, go ahead and finish those, and then work on some things for my video channel. So what I did was, the other day I made the Penny Cowl, which we talked about, and this is a beautiful cowl that I'm giving away a pattern on Friday. If you haven't already put a comment down on the video from Monday, please do that and watch it to find out what the keyword is, and put a comment down to be in the running for a gift that I'm giving away. And one of the gifts is the Penny Cowl pattern by Sarah at Little Haven Crochet. I love this pattern. I've made it once. Let me take this off because I want to show you this again. This is so nice. I really like this pattern. I'm not, she's not asking me to promote her or anything, but it's just a very nice pattern. It looks very complicated. It is not complicated to make. Again, I will show you this. I'm stretching it out so you can see the stitches, and you make it this way, around in a circle. And I noticed that Sarah, in her picture, she has the scalloped edge toward the top, so you can wear it either way. There's a straight edge and there's a scalloped edge. So that's the way I wear it. I wear it with the scalloped edge along my blouse, so you can see it. I really like that, but you could certainly wear it the other way. So what I did was I made this one, and then I thought, I'm going to go through my stash and I'm going to find some more yarn that I can put together, and then I'm going to make another one. So what I did with this one was I used the MN hook, which is a 9mm hook. This is my clover hook, which I dearly love. And I made this cowl out of 2 DK weight yarns that I had in my stash, and I used this hook to make it, and it's perfect. I love it. I love it. It's a perfect size. So what I did was I made another cowl, and I grabbed the wrong hook, and I grabbed the bigger hook, which is the NP hook, and that is a 10mm hook. That's a big hook. Well, it's about that big. It's not that big, but it is big. And in my haste, I grabbed this hook, and I thought, well, this is the one I used. I didn't write it down. Oh, actually, I wrote it down, but I put it somewhere, and I didn't look for it. I just said, I'm going to make this tonight while I'm sitting in my chair. So I found 2 yarn balls in my stash. One is called Squee DK. It's by Cedar Hill Farm, and that is one of the yarns that I think I found it at a yarn festival. It is 75% merino, 25 nylon, 264 yards on the hank, and that would be this yarn right here. It's beautiful. It's kind of a yellow gold. I thought it was pretty. But one hank isn't enough to do a whole lot with, in my opinion. But 264 yards is quite a bit of DK. So I grabbed that, and then I grabbed this one, Twist Fiber Studio, and that is this yarn. And it's a very colorful yarn. It's called Nantahala. But I found another color that I liked, and it was called Harvest Season colorway. It's not the blue Nantahala that I used for another project. This is 100% superwash merino, 250 yards, and it's a DK weight. So both of these yarns are a DK weight. This one has a little bit of yellow in it, so I thought I'm going to combine these two and make a penny cowl out of those. And so I did. I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put this one on. And I'm going to wear it with the scalloped edge toward my face. I made this one yesterday. And this is a, 4 or 5 hour project. If you keep at it, it's not difficult. This is what it looks like. It's quite gorgeous. Now, it's yellow and kind of a purplish blue. All different colors in there, and there are actually some reds. I think you can see a little bit of red there, just a little bit mixed in, because this does have a little bit of pink or kind of a dark pink rosy color, all kinds of colors mixed in. There's some cranberry, kind of a reddish color there. So when you make it, it doesn't show up a whole lot, but it does show up. So I thought this was really pretty. Now, because I picked up this hook, and it was the NP 10mm, The cowl is a tiny bit bigger. It comes down a little bit farther. I like it. I like it a lot. I like both sizes. I love this size. And this yarn is a little bit more flexible. I don't know why, because it has some nylon in it. I think one of these doesn't have any nylon in it, and I think that's why it doesn't stretch as much. But I love the colors. When you mix colors together, all you need is a multicolor with some color in it that matches the other solid color. And I have several balls of hand-dyed yarn that I bought at fiber festivals, and it just sits around and I don't do anything with it. Now I'm finished with this cowl, and look how much yarn I have left. I have enough for probably another cowl, and I would make it with the smaller hook. I think I would probably make it with the smaller hook. I'm not as in love with this was made with Malabrigo yarn, a gray color and a blue color held together, and this was 18 rows. We made it out of 18 rows. This was I used this for maybe 13 rows. Yeah, it was 5 rows less, and it was plenty big. This is all the width that you need on a cowl. So that's what I did. I stopped when I thought it would look pretty and I didn't need any more volume on the cowl. And you know me, I don't like really large shawls, really large cowls. Now the one I made, this curly cowl, I like it because it's long and it's not right up here around my neck. This one is perfect. I like this cowl. It's all in one piece. I don't have to do anything to it. Put it over your head and go, and it's wool. So I'm excited about it. Now I might give this away for a Christmas present, and like I said, I hope nobody's watching. Probably aren't watching, but I have several other of these hand-dyed yarns in different colors in my stash over there, and I might grab a couple more, do a couple more Christmas presents out of these, because they don't take long to make. You only have 2 ends to sew in. They go pretty fast. They're not difficult to make. It's a 1-row repeat. So it's a win-win if you want to make these for Christmas gifts. And if you have some hand-dyed yarn sitting around, or just any size 3 yarn, you can combine the two. Or you could probably make it out of a worsted by itself and just use a good size hook. When you get your first chain done, chain up with a little bit larger hook. And then when you get your first chain done and you connect it, put it around your head and see if it's the right width for you, if it's going to hang down far enough. This one hung down this far. That's when I chained up, and I thought that's perfect. And then when you add the volume to it, it gets a little fatter, but it does lay down nicely, especially if you use 2 small yarns together. Maybe a worsted would be fine. I haven't done that yet. Or even you could even make it out of a latte cake. I don't know why not. I mean, it's a beautiful yarn, and it's a size, let's see what size this is. It's a size 5. So you could experiment with that, but using her pattern, I think you could do all kinds of things with this. I've already made 2 different cowls, and I'll probably make 1 or 2 more for my girlfriends that I make presents for, and one of them watches me, so she may know what her present's going to be, but I'm sure she'll love it. An acquisition that I made, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I got this in the mail, and I had bought a shawl and a cake. Never have bought a shawl and a cake. I've bought shawl and a ball for years in the skein. Always buy the skein. Okay, and then somebody says, try that shawl and the cake. And it has the same, I think it's the same number of yards on it. It's a number 4 yarn, and I love shawl and the ball. And shawl and the cake, I'm pretty pleased with it. And I'll tell you one reason I'm pleased with it is because when it came, it was in plastic, and I ordered it online, so I didn't go to the store and buy it. But this particular cake had the center pull already pulled out, so I didn't have to dig in there and find the end of the yarn. So this was already pulled out, and this was already out as well, and this is the outside of the ball. So I guess if you wanted to pull from the outside, you would also have easily found the end of it this way. And both were just laying there on the cake, and I thought, how nice is that? Because I wanted to pull from the center. And there it is, and that is a beautiful, beautiful color. This is called Calming Desert. This color's been around for a long time. Inside was green, and I've used some of the green, and I'm now moving into the beige. I'll probably never get to the red on this particular piece that I'm making. What I'm making here is maybe a Christmas present, I don't know. It may be something for me to wear, but it is a combination of two yarns together, shawl and a ball, shawl and a cake, same fact. It's the same yarn, it's just in a different form. And then this yarn, which is a DK yarn, I got from my friend Becky. So she hand dyes yarn, and I've several balls of it over there, and I thought, what can I do with that? I don't want to make anything by itself because it'll take too long. So I'm going to combine it with this shawl and a ball, shawl and a cake. See, the colors are very similar. They're different kinds of yarn though, but that's okay. This is 58% cotton, 39% acrylic, and 3% other fiber. I don't know what that is, but it does have a little bit of a halo on it. But I did love the colors in that. Love the colors in that. Now I'm combining it with this yarn, so I'm not going to get very far on it. I'm just making my Silver Mist cowl out of it, and you chain up 28 inches, which is just about the size of this penny cowl. Let me look at that. It's about the same size. So 28 inches must be the magic number, I don't know. But when I designed this cowl, I did not know that 28 inches was a good length, but that's what I used. Anyway, I have probably 4 or 5 rows done on this, and it is quite beautiful. I love green. You know me, I love green, but you can certainly make it out of any color you want. But I have them on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 row now, getting ready to do a lace row here next, I think, after this row. So I'm making the Winter Mist cowl out of these 2 colors for somebody for Christmas probably. So there's an idea for you. Combine your yarns. I mean, I've done it many times. It's just that lately I haven't, and I thought I'm going to try that, because what that'll do is it'll give me plenty of yarn to make as many as I want. If I want to make more, I can do that. I'm using an L hook on these 2 yarns that I just talked about. I'm using an L hook to make the Silver Mist cowl out of these 2 yarns. And I'll have that done by Friday, and I'll show it to you at that point, and we'll look at it then. But enough about the cowls. I just wanted to talk about Christmas presents too, because it's important to get those done early so you're not at the very last minute trying to whip up something for somebody. I like to plan ahead. I like to know what I'm going to do, and I like to get them finished. And I don't really wrap them until Christmas, but I do have them in a stack, and I can go, okay, now it's time to wrap, and it's time to have dinner with my friends, and I give them their Christmas presents, they give me theirs, and it's always something handmade from me, because that's something that I can do. So that's the cowl portion of my video. Now, acquisitions. I did acquire some yarn from Knit Picks. I haven't been on Knit Picks in a while, and I went out to their site because they sent me an email. And so I went out there, and they were having a sale, and I bought some beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's called City Tweed Aran, and Lemon Curd is the name of the color. Right up my alley, something yellow or green. There you go. How pretty is that? It has some tweed in it, so it's got the dark colors. And it's very, very soft. It's an Aran weight or a medium weight yarn, 4-weight yarn. And I think it is all wool. It is hand wash, dry flat, worsted weight yarn. 55% merino wool, 25% superfine alpaca, and 20% Donegal tweed, which is just another kind of wool. 164 yards on the ball, and I bought 6 balls of this. And I always say, you know what you're going to do with your yarn when you buy it. And I did that this time. I was inspired by a picture I saw in one of my magazines, and it's just a magazine of items to buy. It's not it's not a fashion magazine, but these are just about as good because you can look through here and see what's available on the market. And this is my picture for inspiration. I love this sweater. I love the color of it. I love the way it was made. It was a little bit, had some ease in it. I like that. And it's a little bit longer than most of the sweaters I make. Has a crew neck. So I'm going to make a sweater out of this like that. It's very similar in color to this. Very pretty. Very similar in color to that. So I like yellow. And so is this. So I'm really kind of on a yellow kick right now, I guess. Now, another acquisition that I made was this Knit Picks Capra DK Angelite Heather is what it's called. It, of course, is a DK, and it's made from merino wool, 85%. It's made from 85% merino wool, 15% cashmere, 123 yards on the ball. And I received 6 balls of this particular yarn. And I have it written on the yarn band here. It says vest, trim with 2 strands of fingering weight. I don't know what that means. At the time I knew what it meant. If I think about it long enough, I'll figure it out. But this is really pretty. This is just a gray. It's just kind of the same color as my velvet sweater. And I don't know, I really thought that was pretty. And I might trim this in black. That's probably what I'll do with this, because I don't have quite as much as I do the yellow. I have 600 and about 720 yards of this. That may be enough because it's a DK weight. It's not a tiny little yarn, and really it looks like a size 4 to me. This is as big as any 4 that I've ever used. So it's a very fat number 3, but I really like it. And that's an example of what you want to do is when you order yarn, have an idea of what you want to do with it. You don't have to know exactly what you want to do, but when it comes in, you certainly don't want to go, I wonder what I was supposed to do with that. And then it goes in your stash and you forget about it. This is the Caron Simply Soft Party Yarn in red. And I'm making a Christmas sweater, and I had to order from 3 different companies in order to get enough of this and a green color that I ordered as well, and the black. I'm going to combine those 3 colors in a Christmas sweater, and I had to order it from all over the place to get enough to do that with. So if you're going to make something that I talk about, you'll probably want to try to find it now if you think you might want to make a sweater out of this. But it is really, really pretty. I love Caron Simply Soft Party Yarn. I've made my side-to-side sweater out of it. It really turned out nice. I love the way it feels. It's not scratchy or itchy. I really, really like it. So what I've done is I've started my Christmas sweater out of this, and I'm using a V-stitch to make it. It is not going to be double crochet. I'm going to have a border on the bottom. I'm going to do some different things to it, and I'm working on that right now. And I'm excited about that because I love this red color. It is not orangey. This is kind of a blue tint. I don't know, the camera may not be picking that up very well, but it is more of a blue shade red than it is an orange shade red. I have 6 balls of that, and I hope I can do my sweater with it. I have some other, like I said, I have some other colors that I'm going to combine with that to make a Christmas sweater. So that should be enough yarn for me. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, and I've had fun today. I'm just kind of going through my projects to show y'all what I'm doing. And on Wednesday, that's really what I like to do, is just kind of go through my projects and show you what I'm doing. Granny Crafters Crochet, and she has invited everyone to contribute a lapgan to the charity project, and so that's what I'm doing. I will put a link to her video channel down in the description box, and also her email address. So if you can contribute, send her an email, let her know that you're sending it to her. And then also when you go to her video channel and look down in the description box, her address will be there as well. So you can send your Lapkin to her address. And I think she needs them right after Christmas, maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and get mine in the mail in the next, hopefully in the next week. I'll be finished with this. I'll show you what it looks like before I mail it, and then I'll mail it off to Edna. And she can put it in with the others that people are sending her. So I invite you to do that for her. Go to your stash, find some yarn, grab a hook, and make her a Lapkin so that she can meet her quota. She has had shoulder trouble and is having a hard time crocheting, and has also been sick with pneumonia, and so she's just had some hard times and needs somebody to help her meet this quota for her charity drive. Send her an email, let her know that you're going to send her a Lapkin, and she can put you on the list, and then when it's time you can mail it directly to her, and that way she can take those over to the charity and meet her quota, because she has promised a certain number. So you can watch her videos. In her video, she talks about how many Lapkins she needs and everything. So Edna, here's hoping that you can get enough Lapkins to meet your quota. And I think all of us here at the crochet community are so generous, especially with charity work. I know people that make hundreds of hats for preemie babies, for the homeless, and for others who are in need. So this is your opportunity to make a little Lapkin for Edna, and that will help her with her charity project. So I hope you will do that. So I went down in my stash downstairs, and I found some Red Heart Super Saver that I really love. It's green, of course, my favorite color. And then I found a multicolor with that same color in it. There's the green, and I thought that was pretty. And I found some blue that's also part of this yarn, the Super Saver yarn. So with these three colors, I'm going to make a Lapkin for Edna to give to her charity. And this is how far I've gotten. I'm going to work on it every day till I finish. This blue is actually Red Heart Soft Baby Steps. I have the yarn band here, but I didn't have it around the ball. It's so soft. All of this is very soft. Red Heart is not a scratchy yarn. It's just not as soft as this Red Heart Baby Soft. This is really nice. But I'm incorporating it into the Lapkin. So this is what I've gotten so far. I started with the green, and then I used the multicolor, and then the blue. Green, multicolor, blue. And I figured to get my 47 inches or 45 inches of length that I need, I have 35 inches width. So I'm doing a 35 by 45. And that'll give somebody enough to put over their lap, and that was the idea. People in wheelchairs or elderly folks that sit a lot and they need something to put on their legs, because it gets cold in the wintertime. So this is what it looks like so far. I'll be working on this every day. And the hook size that I'm using is the K hook. I've made notes. I made a note on what I'm supposed to do with this Lapkin, because I've got it in a project bag and I'll forget. I've got my measurements on here, the hook size, which is a K hook, and that is a 6.5 millimeter hook. That is what I'm using to make the Lapkin. And each row takes 5 minutes. So I figure it's going to take me 2 or 3 hours of solid crochet to get this finished, and that's fine. That's fine. I've got it in a project bag. I want to show you this too. I ordered this from a friend, and I asked her to make it for me, and she's going to make me a different one with just half of the project bag out of vinyl. But she made a project bag for me out of vinyl. Is that gorgeous or what? And then she put this pretty fabric on here for these straps. And so I can see what's in here. I like project bags that I can see into, so because I have a lot of whips going on. I need to know what's in there. And then she put a snap on it to keep it closed. And I can put this over my arm. I can carry it around. or I can hang it on the side of my office chair, which is perfect, and I just turn my skeins up this way and the yarn comes out the top. So it's perfect for that. And I really appreciate her doing this. Look at the sides of this too. She's got a binding along the edge and along the bottom, which is the same fabric as the straps. I just really love that. And no, she doesn't have an Etsy shop. She doesn't want to have an Etsy shop. But you could go on Etsy and maybe somebody would make you one of those. But my next one that I hope she'll make me is half vinyl, so it's not so difficult to sew. She said that was a little bit of a challenge. So I appreciate her working with me on that. Okay, so Friday I will hopefully have the hat pattern for you, and we will be selecting our gift recipients. So if you haven't gone back to Monday's video, go there and watch it. Put a comment down there so you'll be in the running for one of the 3 gifts that we're giving away this week. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. I will see you on Friday for our gift video and some updates. Maybe if I have an update, I'll talk about it then. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and join me next time to find out what's on the hook.